Hello.
There you go. So this is the new SD card too, so we'll see how this comes out.
Cool.
Hell yeah. Fucking 5-hour interview. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the website. Today we are in a very skeevy hotel room with Rozzik.
It's a $80 skeevy hotel.
It's an $80 skeevy dollar.
And this was my third room switched tonight.
Third room?
Yeah.
In 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes.
In 5 minutes.
I pulled the diva card and said, hey, these beds don't feel right. Switch it again, and then again, and again.
She was pissed.
She was
very unhappy.
well, she probably doesn't like to exercise or even take the elevator on top of that. So, but whatever, all in a day's work of a bitch behind a counter in a skeevy St. Louis hotel room. $80 Expedia points. Thank you very much.
Do you get hashtag Expedia?
I mean, I'm usually pretty good at picking out hotels, but this, well, whatever. I got what I want now. So.
I think it looked good. I mean, who doesn't like a hotel next to a Hobby Lobby?
Pictures always look good. It's just like a band photo shoot.
Yeah.
You want it to look as good as you can.
Yeah, I mean, look at us now. We look terrible.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Yes, that's the next photo shoot. Us on the toilet.
He's like, it's about like a good toilet,
So delve in a little bit to like your guys' history together. I know you have newer members from what you've been doing for years. How long has this ensemble been together?
This lineup started in, would you say, spring 2016?
Yep. Something like that.
Louis came on board right before Rocklahoma 2016, and Link's over here. He got here shortly thereafter. So, but I always think that the genesis of the Core Rozzik we know today was from Core Fest 6 at Gramercy, which was like fall 2016. So this band's been really doing this for about 2 years now.
Wow, so you hopped on like right. That's a huge show to just like randomly jump onto like a band with like.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was like, I got the call and it was like, so, you ready to go? I'm like, yeah, let's go.
That's awesome.
It was kind of funny because when Louis called me, I started talking to him, and I didn't realize it was him at first. I thought it was Alex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he was supposed to join the band first, actually.
Right.
And then he's like, no, it's Louis. And I was like, oh, yeah, right, drums.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, need that,
that.
too. Need that, too. Yeah, drums are important.
It was probably 1.5 weeks before the festival. We had no bass player, no drummer, nothing.
You still don't have a bass
But
player.
you had the gig.
Yeah, we had the
gig. We're at the studio recording first 3 songs for the record.
Right.
And the producer's like, oh, cool, you guys are doing festival. You're excited? Yeah, but there's no fucking band members.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
that was very last minute stressful.
It was real easy to get band members, though, when you're like, oh, yeah, we're doing this festival with the Scorpions and Rob Zombie. All of a sudden,
Louis comes in.
I get a call and it's like, hey, you want to do a festival? Sure.
No, wait a second. That's not how it really happened.
Tell them how it went.
To a mutual friend of ours, I heard that they were looking for band members. I was in California. I was in LA, and I knew they needed a drummer, so I told Louis about it, and then that's how Louis ended up contacting them. Because if it wasn't for our friend, we would have never known, and then it would have never happened. So luckily, it kind of just all fell together.
Why would you lie on camera? I'm just kidding.
well, he's just fact-checking it, that's all.
Wikipedia fact or fiction.
That's awesome, though. So, like, what does Core Rozzik mean? Like, where did you come up with that? What's the inspiration? Because obviously you play different personas.
Yeah. Well, the name originally, when I was in high school, I had the nickname of Hardcore because I used to do backyard wrestling. It was
Right on.
Yeah, getting hit with chairs and doing stupid shit. Elks Lodge, ECW. So I thought, well, I'll just call myself Core with a K, and then the whole Rozzik thing, that was just like an offshoot of my last name. Because I was trying to think of like the character of kind of this psychopathic underdog rock star, like what is he? He's sick. So Rozzik. And then it just kind of happened naturally. And the name was just kind of floating around for a long time. And I'd done a lot of different bands, and I thought, well, I could put it under a different band name, and just be Core Rozzik. But that name, there's something about that name that sticks out.
Yeah. No, super.
You know,
It's interesting that it was also 2 different words. I think was actually kind of cool. Like if you listen to say like Core Rozzik, it could be 1 word.
Mhm.
You know.
That's the problem when people ask, "What's your band name?" They can never guess what it is. You say Rozzik and they're like, "What is it?"
Is that a Q?
They don't get it. Yeah.
We get like a core Roznik, core and the Rozziks.
or
Well,
core rising. I've heard that
But
before.
the good thing is, once they get it, they never forget it. So that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
So why the voodoo top hat chainsaw?
Well, it's all different aspects into the story as far as what Core sees in his mind of how he wants to take down his enemies. You know, so voodoo's just one of them. You know, being the underdog rock star. You know, the whole character in the Vengeance Overdrive is just being exiled out of the New York City scene, and which I think is very relatable. A lot of people being an outcast and wanting to achieve something. I want to be this rock star. You know,
especially in the metal community.
You know, it's like, how do I get to the top? What do I got to do? And by any means necessary, right? So sometimes there's forms of sacrifice that you have to do. So it's a real fantasy story, but it's basically Core gets these powers, and he's like, all right, now it's time to get down to business. So he's doing different things. He's doing spells. People are mysteriously, arms are turning black, and people are going missing, and all of a sudden women are finally attracted to him, and all of a sudden he's headlining the Gramercy Theater, and that wasn't happening before. He was blacklisted everywhere. So it's an interesting story.
With the voodoo doll, he pretty much took one word because they had a demo called Spellbound, and I'm like, Core, what do you want to do with it? He's like, Spellbound. I don't know, spells, cast the spell voodoo. It just takes a word.
That's awesome.
So now remember, if you're driving home today and you blow up, you ask. So.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's it, man. Yeah, because I curse the crowd every night.
It's the best.
Really?
It's the best thing to watch.
It's
Because I have the best view. Because I see as he does it, and I just see people like whack.
I can't believe I missed out on that.
Yeah. You would have gotten pretty drenched.
So you guys are from the East Coast.
Yeah.
A lot of, well, actually not really a lot of bands primarily come from the East Coast that actually go to the hierarchy.
Well, that's because the rent is really high. Yeah. It costs a lot of money to leave your house.
Yeah.
Yeah. New York sucks. I don't know. Everybody thinks it's like the bee's knees or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, I'd rather go play like some podunk redneck town, where the people are like down to earth.
Like Tomorrow.
Yes, like Tomorrow. I mean,
I call it redneck town. I just call it like mega country. Like we're playing in their town hall.
Well, I mean, I'm not. I'm not saying that to insult them or anything. I mean, some people take pride in being rednecks
Yeah.
or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, just
Yeah.
not New York City. The total opposite of that. And these people, they embrace us and they want to see live music. I mean, we've played places where they've never even had live music before.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
How do you even get booked for that if they've never done it before? I know you do the majority of the booking, right?
Yeah, but this was a situation in Moberly. What happened? We were just, these people who had saw us in St. Louis are like, why don't you come to our little town and just see what it's about? And we literally went to their local bar for trivia night.
Yeah, just to hang out. We really were just there to hang out. They saw us, and we happened to have a night off on the way up to wherever we were going the following night. So we were there, we were just hanging out, and they just like loved us. It's like, oh man, you guys have your gear, right? Why don't you just play? So we were just like, do we play? And they're like, yeah, let's play. And they like the guy on the DJ got up on the thing. He's like, oh, we gotta get him to play. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I gotta play. And then we just like, all right, fuck it. And now we're going back to play at Town Hall.
Wow.
And that's kind of like
That's crazy. That's actually really cool.
I'll be the mayor by the end of the night.
I mean, that's your escape from New York, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because like the whole story of Rozzik is being like blacklisted and exiled. Right. So it's like
Bastard child.
Yeah, so like when I go out on tour and I kind of have this like commanding attitude because I want people to get involved, and if they don't, I just say crazy shit to get their attention. It's kind of like, wow, man, that guy's really a dick. Like no wonder he's playing for us. He really did get kicked out of New York City. What a dick, But I own it, But it's a different vibe, And a lot of times we play these smaller places and people are just like smacked against the wall. They don't know what the hell is going on. It takes them about 2 to 3 songs before they're with us, And that's why I always say, oh, are we friends now? You know what I mean? Like, because it takes a little while for people to understand what we're doing. It's almost intimidating at first, but I think that's the New York attitude. You just grab them by the throat,
Right.
you know.
So later down the line, as you guys progress as a band, your dream scenario happens. You guys make it to the top and everything. When you guys are gone, what do you want people to remember you as?
That's a good question. I don't know if I want to be known as the guy with the hat. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, at first it's good vocals, because
Yeah.
this whole project is around the good vocalist.
Right.
And usually, there's a lot of good bands and good music, but there's always Queen, and Whitesnake and all that stuff, and you always think about vocals first.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the vocals.
Oh.
I know for me, I'll definitely be like, oh, the guy with the hair.
The guy with the hair?
Yeah, that guy over there. Yeah, him.
Well, give me this thing, man. I'm gonna go a little deeper than that. I
All
mean,
right.
I want people to remember what we gave to them musically and how we reached them. The same way music reached us at a certain point and made us decide, hey, this is the career we want to embark on, regardless of how hard and how difficult it's going to be. So I want them to know us on a personal level as well, because we come in there and we're not charging people for meet and greets. We're there from when the doors open to when the place empties out. We're at our merch table. We're talking to everybody. We interact. We become friends with you on Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want. You can hit us up whenever you like. And we get very personal with all the people who connect with us and who make the effort to be a part of what we are. And for me especially, I want them to remember the experience that we give them, that we were those guys who took the same amount of time for them that they took for us. Because that was important for me growing up too.
That's awesome. And that's good you said that, because not a lot of bands do that.
Yeah.
Even the lower, even like trial, or not trial, but you know what I mean, like locals and stuff. They don't.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too. We were a local band too, but I think we always strive to be. For a while, I joked as like a local national, in the sense of like, you may not know who we are, but when you see us, it's like, wait a minute, like these guys are national level, which we are national now, but just that over the top,
international too.
yeah, but that over the top performance, which a lot of bands don't do. Some people just play and like that's cool, and they whatever they do. But we're about providing a show, an experience. So I would want to be remembered as making those special moments. Just a different vibe than what everyone else is doing, especially now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell anybody's doing now. I don't really pay attention.
There's a lot of weird shit coming out of New York.
There's like trap music and
Yeah.
I don't know. The rock scene is a little tested right now. It really needs an adrenaline boost. And we're trying to do something different.
Another semi-deep question like
Yeah.
that. If you guys get into like the Hall of Fame, in your another dream scenario, whatnot, who would be the first person you would thank? Oh, who would be the first person you would thank if like you guys got into like the Hall of Fame and whatnot?
Who would induct us, you mean?
No. Like, who would you thank in your speech?
Oh, who would I thank?
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh.
Probably the fans or whoever is.
Have to be fans.
Have to be the fans or whoever's willing to give me the money to get there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, first person is probably your mom, because that's why you're
Right.
fucking here. You know what I mean? That's if you want to go from the start.
That's true. No, yeah,
That's
for
the
sure.
Person, one person.
Right. Accurate.
True.
So.
Dead ass.
I like to thank my ass. It's dead, so yeah, thank you everyone who made that happen.
Where do you guys see this scene going? Because it's entering into a new era. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the old bands are stopping.
Well, I think a lot of the old bands need to die off already,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, and I say that in the nicest way possible because I still support a lot of those bands.
Yeah.
But it does seem like the industry is kind of in this weird, and there's different pockets of it, but it just doesn't seem like the industry has been nurturing a lot of newer talent.
Yeah.
And they conveniently choose when and where they want to,
Yeah.
but there's so much other new talent out there that deserves the push. We need more publicity support. We need more radio support. I think we need to go back to more street marketing too. I don't know if the internet's working as much as it used to. It's easy to
I don't
do,
think
but
it is.
yeah, it's just too saturated.
Well, that's the thing about, people say about hip hop music is, rap will never die because eventually if it gets too big, it'll always go back to the underground scene. You know what I mean? I think that will also be as metal, but I've also noticed working in the music scene with metal bands, just metal bands and bands in general just don't like each other because they're all trying to fight for the same spot.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, that the metal communities versus the rap communities are so different? Because I see a lot of the rap communities, I mean, they do the same shit, but there's way more helping than there is tearing each other down.
I got this.
Okay.
In different genres, pop music, hip hop music, there are more avenues to become successful. I think if you are a good hip hop artist, you can just become famous on Instagram. And then the right people will notice you and they'll put the right amount of dollars behind you to make you more marketable, to feed their own pockets as well. But the fact that more people can become famous and successful is one thing. In metal music, there are very limited spots at this time. And it's why what we strive to do is we try to put on these over-the-top performances. And don't get me wrong, if we had the right budget now, we would have one of the best live shows you could imagine because we have it all here, but it's just a matter of, getting the right amount of monetary support behind us to be able to put on the kind of productions we want to.
I need an Alice Cooper budget.
You need an Alice Cooper budget?
At least, yeah.
So,
At least.
I mean, that's how we try to differentiate ourselves within the scene that we're in. And, sometimes there's a little animosity behind that because people see us and they think, oh, we're supposed to be all gimmicky. But when we go on and we put on the show that we do and they hear the quality of stuff that we're putting out there as well, and then they see what we're doing with our fans on top of that, I guess a lot of them find it hard to compete with that because we're really we're attacking from every direction possible to put our best foot forward. And a lot of people, they're either too lazy or they just don't know how to put in that amount of work because they have people, who just half-ass it in the band who all right, they'll show up to rehearsal once a week and then expect to play a show and have a full house.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Damn, I completely lost my train of thought. That was really good.
It's tough out there for a player,
Yeah, bro.
I got some Crown Apple. How about
Crown
that?
Apple?
How about that for the next endorsement? I could use a nice.
Did that go from Pantera? Those were the guys who would drink Crown Royal all the time?
Was
Yeah.
I
it?
thought they were drinking Jack.
No.
That's how
Dimebag
Black
and
came. It was
yeah.
Crown, shot of Crown,
And
shot of
Jaeger?
Seagram 7, and splash of Coke.
Oh, a splash of Coke.
And then I added in Jaeger one time.
Did you see the reverse Jaeger bombs people are doing now? It's a glass. Yeah, it's a glass of Jaeger and a shot of Red Bull now instead of the reverse.
Oh my god.
Well, you got.
Kidney hurts.
Well, you I mean, look, you got to understand something. That is the evolution because we must thin the herd. There's just too many people on this planet. So go ahead. I encourage you to do the reverse Jaeger bomb.
Have you seen those people? The new trend with chugging Jack Daniel's bottles, they crack it.
Oh my
I've
goodness.
seen that.
What do you? That's
Yeah.
no huge Jack Daniel's bottle. They won it.
I mean, I'm from Belarus, but I've never seen that shit there. That's
I think it originated as a Scottish dude did it first.
Sweat vodka, yeah. That's ridiculous.
I don't know. I like to sip my liquor. I like to enjoy it.
It's
Yeah.
not to get fucked up. It's to
Right.
rest after the long day.
Yeah.
Right.
In the car, carrying the gear, all that stuff. That's how it is, you know?
Yeah.
Right on. And going back to what you said about quality, that's something I noticed about you guys right off the bat was how fucking awesome you guys are with your, not only your stage performance, but just listening to your album and stuff was I can pick apart the different aspects that you all bring. It's really an interesting listen. I was telling, all you guys, your particular instruments and stuff, his fucking bass drum is something out of this fucking world. Your guys' riffs are insane, and your vocals are a power metal mix. So I don't even fucking know where to start with you. And you put that all together, and literally I had to go buy a cord so I could reuse my Beats headset and shit, so I could get the right bass and shit and actually
Right.
listen to it.
Exactly, yeah.
And I was like, these guys are fucking amazing. Like, I think you guys are by far one of the most unique bands out there right now.
Well, that's really
You
nice.
know what
Really
I
nice to
mean?
hear that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think musically there's a blend of stuff in there. You know, it's very cliche when you meet up and coming bands, and we do it too. But everybody says, "Oh, well, you know," no one ever wants to label themselves like, "Well, you know, we're a mix of this and mix of that." But usually bands just sound like they're copying band A or B. I think Rozzik is a genuine mix of
I think
stuff.
it is. Yeah,
You
I
know,
would
because
say so.
everybody hears something different when you ask
Yeah.
people what do you think Rozzik sounds like. Everybody says different things.
Plus, we come from different places too. Those guys were born in the States in like 80s. I come from Soviet fucking Union in like 90s. So we mix all that stuff. Sometimes it's hard to agree on certain things, but I think you can feel that it's everything together.
Wow.
That's probably what it is too.
Yeah.
So, your next project, what is it?
Next project, as far as what?
Your next release, I should say.
Well, Vengeance got to run its course. You know,
That's true.
that era of
When
the
did that
band is
come out
still
again?
July. So
yeah,
it's still pretty
fresh.
new. So that's got you know, the Vengeance Overdrive era has to run its course before we do the next thing. But you know, the first record's a concept, and the next few records will be concepts too. They're all different stories of where the character's going to go and stuff.
Do you think you guys will release another music video anytime soon?
Yeah, once the label pays for it.
There's gonna be lyric videos.
Lyric videos? Those
yeah,
are cool.
because those are cheap.
I think you guys did really well with the music video for Mistress, if I remember that correctly.
Thank you.
It was interesting.
It's not the first Rozzik music video.
No,
but
I
it's
know,
the
but-
first official one.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That one had a budget.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah.
They had a budget, they had a storyline planned out.
I had to stab somebody to make that video. That was you know, I had to stomp somebody out. You know.
And the last big question I have for you guys is if you guys are stranded on an island, you can only bring 4 records with you. What would it be?
Which means a band member picks one album.
No.
We could do that.
No, don't
four
do
records
that.
per
That's
person.
Okay.
that's rough.
4 records per person.
I'm still thinking. Hold on.
Or we'll make it easier if you can't think of records, bands. Records from 4 different bands.
Zeppelin, Sabbath, Pantera, and who would be the last one? Wham.
Wham!
I'm gonna go with Wham.
Let's see.
Wham.
I definitely need something from Queen.
Okay.
There has to be something Megadeth.
Yeah.
Because it's a personal favorite. It's gonna be cliche, but I definitely need a Metallica record, and then I need some kind of classical music. I need something from that spectrum, because the orchestration on some of these things that I listened to growing up just blow me away to this day. So, you know, and
you
I
see Serge Tankian from like System of a Down's doing all his songs.
yeah,
with
like his
orchestras
solos
now.
things. Yeah, he's doing some pretty awesome stuff. But yeah, so anything from like the classical, the Baroque era probably would be something I take. Something from like probably Bach.
Right
He's
on.
one of my dudes. He's my boy back in the day.
My
dude.
Oh, you're gonna put me on the spot. Definitely something from Alice Cooper.
Fair.
Definitely something from Dokken. Definitely something from Queen. And the fourth, oh man, that's trying to think. What would I'd have to go with Megadeth. Yeah, I gotta do Megadeth. Yeah.
And you, sir.
Well, everybody said Queen. That's definitely so
Said Wham.
Queen is one.
Okay.
Barry Manilow.
Okay, I didn't fucking expect that, but all right, I'll take it.
Probably Ozzy Osbourne solo discography.
Okay. Well, he's getting fucking technical. You just said Wham.
And there's a Russian heavy metal band called Aria.
Oh yeah.
That's
cool.
something that I heard when I was 10, 11. Still
on.
listen to it.
Are they still around?
Yeah.
Cool.
Still listen to it, what, like 16 years after?
Wow.
So that's probably it. Even though 4 bands is not enough, but that should be good.
And the last question in total, if you guys could tour with anyone, who would it be? One band.
One band?
One band.
Oh man, what like
You guys
realistically,
co-headline.
like realistically, or like
Who's the
just
biggest, who you dream of? Like,
Yeah, who you dream on,
if can do
you
it tomorrow.
co-headlining tour. You know what I mean?
that's a tricky question because it's a I look at logistics like a band that's obtainable, a band that's like just super like, all right, I want to open up
That
for
you-
AC/DC. I mean, like you know what I mean?
That you, I guess that you're inspired by.
Mm. Well, I've already done that a couple of times. That's a good question.
Well, it has to fit the style of music.
All right. Well, if we're gonna go in that realm, I would say like Disturbed. I think that would
That'd be a
actually
good show.
that would actually be.
You guys would do
something.
actually really good with
Yeah,
them.
I think that would be kind of a fair
I
thing.
feel like Rammstein is big enough.
I was gonna ask.
You know, fucking
Big
wrestlers.
enough.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're huge in Europe.
Yeah.
They barely play in the States.
Well, that's
but
because they're
anytime-
banned a lot of places.
But
Yeah.
anytime they come here, it's sold out like 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like that industrial riffing thing, that's something we have on the record.
Right on. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
At
that.
least in a couple of songs, I can see that. Yeah.
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 You know, I actually have to agree with them with the Rammstein. 'cause
I'm just saying.
I'm a
And
big Rammstein fan.
and we started
Same.
using smoke as
Yeah.
much as we can, but if we could use fire,
We were talking about that earlier.
Pyro, man.
We.
Yeah.
I want pyro. I want fire.
No, I don't want great white pyro though. That's,
No,
we don't
just
want
like
that.
Alex said, it's all about the budget. So
Yeah. Give us money.
once we have it, you'll see the fire.
Once you have it, it's like you can. I've seen people even at home rig drums that whenever you hit a drum, like a little flame.
We're gonna work on that.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Thank you guys. It's been an awesome night getting to meet you guys,
Yeah,
hang out with
likewise.
you. We're looking forward to seeing you guys play again next time. We'll have to interview you guys again and have you on. This is the first hotel interview we've ever done.
Nice.
So you guys go down in the record books for that, and also one of my favorites so far.
Very cool.
This is Core Rozzik. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys very much
Night.
for everything you've put up with tonight.
Oh. Right.
But we
That's
got
right.
whiskey. It's okay.
You got
That's
whiskey.
All good.
That's all they need.
Don't be a
Thank you.
bozo.